My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. This breakdown is brought to you by Premium Membership. Premium Membership brings you all sorts of betting and fantasy tools to help you make money. Things like exclusive 2, 3, and 4 leg parlays, betting calculators, parlay calculators, daily fantasy ownership projections, fighter salary rankings, and so much more. Check it out now at WeWantPicks.com. Scroll to the top and click Become a Member. And don't forget, we are giving away $50. All you need to do is go to WeWantPicks.com/bets, sign up with any one of our betting partners, make a deposit, and we send you $50 as a thank you. That's WeWantPicks.com/bets. Sign up, make a deposit, we send you $50. Next up, at UFC 277, we have Drakkar Klose taking on Rafa García. Drakkar Klose is 12-2 overall, 4-1 in his last 5, coming off a knockout win just 2 months ago. Rafa García is 14-2 overall, 3-2 in his last 5, coming off 2 dominant grappling wins in a row. Drakkar Klose is coming off that beautiful knockout over Brandon Jenkins, where he looked fantastic that entire fight. But if you remember, before that fight, he was scheduled to fight Jeremy Stephens until he was pushed at weigh-ins. He got hurt and that fight was canceled. He still, to this day, talks about having permanent injuries from that push. It didn't seem to be an issue. It didn't seem to be bothering him in that fight with Brandon Jenkins, but he is very vocal about, I have permanent injuries from that. So, you know, I don't think it's a factor because it wasn't a factor in his last fight, but he says it out of his own mouth that it is an issue. Style-wise, Drakkar is a very good wrestler, but he developed striking over the years. He was a state champion wrestler who uses his wrestling offense, but does have some issues defending takedowns. He has solid boxing with power and speed. Rafa García is stepping up on short notice, like half of this card is, after Drakkar's original opponent dropped out. Rafa's a good grappler with heavy hands and just okay cardio. He's an absolute dog when he fights, and even when he is completely gassed, he's still pushing and chasing that knockout. He's very dangerous, and while he is a grappler at his core with 7 submission wins, he has legit power in his hands, and many of those submissions were set up from the strikes. This should be a fun fight. Both these guys can wrestle. Both of them can bang on their feet. Drakkar's coming off that very dominant win after a 2-year layoff, and Rafa's coming off back-to-back dominant wins. And if we didn't just see how evolved Drakkar's striking has become, I actually would have picked Rafa here. I picked him to beat Natan Levy, who everybody was insisting Natan Levy's the greatest thing in the world. He took him down 7 times. He controlled the jiu-jitsu, had no issues. But after seeing Drakkar's striking and knowing that he is a solid wrestler, I think I'm going to pick Drakkar here. So I think he can piece up Rafa on the feet and just hopefully can defend those takedowns. His takedown defense is only 68%. But he has won several fights where he was also taken down, like Christos Gallegos, Mark DeCasey, Lando Venata, and he even beat Bobby Green, who took him down. So Drakkar Klose is the pick, but don't sleep on Rafa García. That dude's good. Very, very good. What do you think?
He is good. And as you mentioned, Drakkar Klose, a wrestler that started to pick up the striking. But in the striking, here's the things that kind of worry me about his striking is he's a pretty flat-footed, just kind of plotting forward type of guy. And Rafa is a guy that throws heavy leg kicks. I mean, he throws heavy leg kicks at front leg. So when Drakkar is trying to march down, because I think that this matchup is a style of Drakkar likes to push the pressure, not like a super pressure, but he likes to walk forward. He will stalk you as he's moving forward, and Rafa's a guy that will move backwards, right? So I think that the tail of the tape is going to be Drakkar slowly moving forward, but eating leg kicks on the way. And the other big thing that worries me about Drakkar is, and I'm a big Drakkar fan, is he has wrestling, and you mentioned the lack of ability in the defensive wrestling, but also in scrambles as well. He doesn't seem like he has much jiu-jitsu and jiu-jitsu scrambles in his game. So if he's on top and he can lay on you, it's fine. But if you really start scrambling in those positions, it's really hard for him to keep control of people in those positions. And obviously, Rafa's a guy that knows what he's doing on the ground and can engage in those scrambles. So even if Drakkar uses offensive wrestling, I could see Rafa kind of scrambling to positions, and all of a sudden, it's Drakkar taking him down. And all of a sudden, Rafa's got his back in those situations because Rafa is so much more well-versed on the ground than Drakkar. If I'm Rafa in this matchup, I think I need a takedown early because Drakkar is a guy that as he's stalking you, he becomes more and more dangerous, right? He's starting to become this heavy-handed guy that he finds those big strikes once you're against the cage. So if Rafa's back is against the cage, Drakkar will lunge in with those big strikes, and he finds the targets more often than not lately. If I'm Rafa, I want to try and get a takedown early, really wear on the gas tank of Klose a little bit. But at the same time, if you're Rafa and you start shooting takedowns and you don't get them, now you have to worry about your own gas tank, right? So it's kind of a devil's advocate situation where do you want to risk it or do you want to just kind of play the long game? Either way, I think somebody finds a knockout right here. I think that both these guys really get after it in the first couple rounds. They both seem to kind of fade as the fight goes on. I think somebody finds the other in that situation, late second, third round. I know odds makers disagree with me. I think the fight does not go the distance. It's like plus money. I might play it on a little bit of a flyer, but my pick's going to be Drakkar because I think he's got the power advantage, but Rafa's very live in this matchup. And if there's ever a scramble situation, I could see him finding a weird submission as well. So my pick is Drakkar. I like his power and his offensive wrestling, but Rafa's definitely live in this matchup.
Yeah, I mentioned Drakkar can get taken down, and that is a problem here. So $9,100 in DraftKings, Rafa's super tough. He's not really a guy that you're going to go out there and finish. $9,100, you're probably looking for a finish or some very real points. I do think Drakkar wins. He does have power in his hands. Rafa is taking this on short notice. He did have cardio issues in the past. His last fight didn't seem to be, his cardio seemed okay in his last fight, but that wasn't short notice. This is. So lots of questions. Are you going to spend the $9,100 on Drakkar Klose?
No, I just think there's too many opportunities for Rafa to win this fight. It just makes it a little bit too dangerous for me.
Yeah, I probably agree with you there. So I'm going to go ahead and probably leave him out of my DraftKings lineup. But we'll see when I'm building it. Like last week, I loved Jai Herbert, but right when I was going to go hit submit on my lineup, I didn't put him in. And I actually threw your lock of the week in there, and it worked out for me. I had a 6-0 lineup. Not nearly as impressive as Joe's or Frank's, but solid lineup. Anyway, Monkey Knife Fight Strike line, 82 to 65. I actually think it's probably, 82 is high, but I think it's a more and more. I think they go at it. I don't think this fight is an early stoppage. I think they go at it. Both of them are very tough. And even if Hoffa's getting lit up, I could just see him diving at legs and just really just being a dog and hanging in there. What do you think?
Yeah, if there's a finish, I said that I think there's a finish, but I also think it's going to be a late finish where it's going to be more of a gas tank finish, right? Not somebody's getting flatlined. It's going to be like somebody's against the fence, like really in trouble, and the other person's laying on the volume. I think the Monkey Knife Fight line really relies on Rafa, whether he wrestles early or does not, because sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. Yeah. So it's probably a more play. It's probably the safe play.
Yep. Well, I think, I guess we agree, Jake. Wow. Yeah, if you guys...
I don't agree with you.
Oh, okay. No, yeah, good point. If you guys want to check out Monkey Knife Fight, WeWantPicks.com/MKF. They will instantly match your deposit. And if you want $50 free, I literally paid, I don't know how much I paid out today, but it was a lot. It was more than $500. It was a lot. Just go to WeWantPicks.com/bets. Sign up with any one of our 5 betting partners. Give me a few days to verify your deposit, and I'll send you $50 as a thank you for supporting us and said partners. That's WeWantPicks.com/bets.